Hey YouTube, this is Yobi1 checking in. I'm here. I made it. I arrived safely in Japan about a week ago, and I've been getting settled in. And yeah, lots of things going on in my head, lots of nostalgic memories, getting to catch up with some old friends and whatnot. So yeah, first I'll just do a quick tour of my apartment, just because I know some people like to see the small, kind of difficult size. Not difficult, but different. So there's our front door here. Right? This is where I'll be putting my garbages. So as you guys know, you have to sort garbages, burnable, non-burnable, and pet bottles. This is my one and only cabinet closet. So it's where I currently have my luggage, some of the small things that I've brought with me, some of the winter clothes that I won't be needing for a while because it's super freaking hot. And then we have some of my game systems, some of the medication that I brought. So to each their own. Like I brought for me, and these are things that I recommend for people. You know, if there's things that you love that you can't really live without. For example, I brought. Let's see if we have it here. Yeah, I brought some things to clean my retainer. I brought my razors that I like. So I bought all of those off Amazon for cheap when I was in Canada. Just like I also bought a bunch of Old Spice deodorant. You know, those kind of things that you like, that are things that you prefer. I would recommend bringing those if you're planning on coming. So I'm here for 10 months. So I brought roughly 10 months supply of those things. Instead of trying to randomly find those things or replacements for that in Japan. Um, this is my laundry corner. So again, laundry machines, super tiny. This is probably the biggest obstacle I'd say so far of life in Japan, and I'm used to it as well. But just the fact that I don't have a dryer, it makes things difficult. You know, you can use all sorts of different fabric washers, cleaners, softeners, and things like that. But you know, just not drying it in the dryer, it doesn't get that same nice soft texture. So yeah, everything is hang dry. So this is my little hang dry station. And again, all of this stuff came with the apartment, so it was all here on day one. So this is just a nice little system where I can fold things out and uh, hang dry clothes, which is not too bad. I have this. This also came with the place. So for me, I like my button ups. I like them to be nice and crisp, so I iron them all. So I brought my iron from Japan, or sorry, from Canada, iron steamer. And yeah, I brought this little mat as well, which is kind of like an iron anywhere station thing, so I can just flop it on any kind of table or anything like that, and then iron my clothes. So I just do my best, kind of my tradition, iron everything, and then just go through the week. You know, and that's something that's interesting too, just for me, getting used to laundry life in Japan. That is the biggest challenge, no dryer. You know, hanging clothes outside to dry, hanging clothes inside your apartment. You have to be very on it when you're doing laundry because it's very humid and the clothes can get really, really smelly if you don't, you know, properly hang them to dry properly. So that's kind of that. Again, I would say if you're not familiar with how to do and hang laundry, I would definitely watch some videos on that. You know, just for tips to make it efficient as well. We got our tiny ass Japanese washroom. So my toilet and sink are super close. I got some things that I brought from Canada. Things, you know, I just already had my few supplies of things that I was using, so I just brought them, and I just kind of store them here. I have my, I don't really need it, but shampoo and stuff. It's super tiny in here, guys. Super, super tiny. So, again, you know, it's it's getting, especially I'll say this. This has been the biggest obstacle. So from going from being a university student and moving into a tiny place is one thing, but going from being a professional adult working for several years, having your own place with lots of space and lots of conveniences and comfort, coming back now is probably the biggest difference, is just the level of comfort of the lifestyle, you know, like just everything in general kind of taking a step back. I don't want to say step back, but that's been the biggest challenge for me so far, is just kind of like, okay, what am I working with here? Like, I really don't, if you take a look at it, I really don't even have a space to really cook. So this is my fridge, this tiny little guy here. Uh, this is like a little cabinet, right? This is my hot top thing that I can cook on, which I have not yet turned on because I don't have any cooking tools or utensils or pans or anything like that. I have my coffee mug. I brought a spoon and some paper spoons and paper forks and things like that to use while I'm here. So I did bring some things from Canada, some coffee that I like. I haven't yet popped this baby open. Another thing I brought from Canada was my Keurig coffee machine. I've not yet used it. The apartment, again, these are my medicines and whatnot, so I'll just flip that around. Yeah, so these are things that were already included in the apartment. So this microwave and this water boiler were already included, so I've been using those. Those have been nice. It came with this little tiny shelf as well. There's my iron. And yeah, so the place came with a TV, this small desk. It came with the bed and 2 sets of bed sheets, which has been really useful. I find I like to change bed sheets frequently. I like nice clean bed sheets all the time. What is the first kombini food that I got? Thanks, JC, for the question. What was the first? So the good thing is I live super close to the kombini. I live close to 7-Eleven, and I also live close to, there's a Lawson's right next to, I really live close to the station near my house. What was the first kombini thing? I think I got some tonkatsu sandwiches, some fried pork cutlet sandwich. Again, I love those so much. The soft white bread, the tonkatsu sauce, and the pork, super good. I also remember getting like a chicken katsu bento or things like that. Just the bentos have been what I've been kind of living off of when it comes to eating at home. I haven't really gotten, like any groceries at all. Like I bought some cereal and oh, my one thing that I love, I think it's here, yeah. Japanese milk. Oh my god. Super, super good. I love this whole milk, and that milk just hits different, man. I love the milk in Japan for some reason. Yeah, what do we got? I have some beers. There's some frozen takoyaki. This, okay. The real ones know. The real ones know this yogurt. I think we used to, I don't know if I used to buy these yogurt, or if they used to come when I was working in Gifu as an English teacher. I think they put those yogurts in the lunchtime meals that we got with the students when we ate with the students. I got some fruit juice, some fruit vegetable mixed juice, whatever. But I've mainly been eating out. For me, the first week, I might be going a little bit, spending a little bit more, but it's more about getting used to what's in my neighborhood around me. I really want to know all the local little places. So I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but I posted some picture. I found a nice little whiskey bar, literally a stone's throw away from my place, with a whiskey master who's super cool, super chilled, very professional, very chilled atmosphere. The guy knows what he's doing. I saw him chop up ice cubes like a pro, just prepping them all for his customers and whatnot. So I definitely think I'll stop by there, have a few drinks on the way home from work from time to time. Or sorry, not work, school. I'm just so used to saying work. Um, okay, I'll answer some questions now. Yeah, beef bowl. I definitely am looking forward to getting a beef bowl. I think that'll be next on my list. I'm not used to YouTube Live, so I'm gonna see. Um, yeah, I can see the questions pop up live, but I'm not too used to YouTube Live just yet. I reorganized my room a little bit. Like I put my bed in front of the window like this, but it's not how it was originally laid out. But I just found it gave me a little bit more space. I have my air conditioner that I'm bumping as much as possible. And then my balcony, again, nothing special. I can hang maybe t-shirts out there, but it's really low to the ground, so I don't really want to hang out. Anything. It's my backyard. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, I live in a nice, peaceful neighborhood. So far, so good. Oop. I'm not letting any of this amazing air-conditioned air out. Um, so I saw another question. Somebody getting a job in Japan without a degree. Honestly, one of the easiest ways to get a job in Japan is to have a degree. I think anybody who has a degree can actually apply for becoming an English teacher. But, who's to say things haven't changed? Lots of things have changed in Japan since I've lived here. Um, I want to say, you know, from one example is always having to carry cash around to now being able to use my Canadian credit card here with ease. I've noticed now everybody's using cards to pay. I don't know if this is just because, of the impact of COVID, or just people coming to accept the usefulness of paying by card. So yeah, it's really nice and convenient. I don't have to struggle about where am I gonna withdraw cash. I always used to keep a memory of like, okay, where can I get cash? Because at that time I was using my Canadian bank card. This was when I was a student. I had my Canadian bank card. I'd withdraw a bunch of yen at once, and then I would live off of that until I needed to withdraw more money. At that time, the exchange rate was brutal. I used to lose like 20% of my money to the exchange rate. Whereas now the exchange rate is actually better. The Canadian dollar is actually stronger than the Japanese yen. So I've noticed when I'm paying with my Canadian credit card now, when I look at my transaction history, I can see the exchange rate is in my favor, which is I can't tell you what a different feeling that is. But back to your question, um, there is a reality in Japan of the workforce. The workforce is Japan has an aging population and low birth rate, so that combined has definitely called a need for more people to fill those jobs. So I'm interested in learning about that now. I'd love anybody who knows about that more. Maybe share some links in the comments, because I'm very curious about what that means for Japan in the future. So some of what I'm studying as part of my master's has to do with that. So I'll be researching it as well. But yeah, it might be more possible now for foreigners to come. I know there's a lot of South Asian workers coming to work in Japan now, in non skilled positions, not like an English teacher or whatnot. So yeah, I'd love to see, if anybody else has any questions like that, feel free to ask them now. My first thoughts coming back, I was a little bit overwhelmed the first day. Definitely, I felt really out of place, and I think it's kind of a residual, maybe change of my personality since COVID. During the COVID times, I was working at home the majority of the time. Almost every single day, I think during that year, I was working from home, and I also stayed at home. I didn't really go out, and then living like that for a year, and then this past year, working part time, not part time, but working partially in the office, or like a hybrid model of work. So again, I would physically go to my office, and I would honestly just stay in my office on my own and just work all day, eat my lunch in my office and then go home. So kind of like going out to eat, going out to explore, those are things that I haven't done for years, for so long. And now that's where I'm at. I'm in Japan. I'm in one of the busiest, highly densely populated places in the world. And I've had to get used to that and adjust to that, um, which has kind of been good. I would say it's been very good. I've been walking a lot more. I've been trying to get, mentally, physically, emotionally, um, healthier, and so I've been going on long walks around my station, trying to get a good grasp of what's around me. I've been going for long walks near Yokohama Station, so that's the main um, large city station where I'm living. So I live near Yokohama now, and it's been great. I've been really enjoying it. It's something that I miss. I missed walking down those little routes and paths and kind of getting lost and finding interesting looking izakayas or restaurants or places in general. So I've made it kind of also shisha bars. I love to smoke shisha, so I found a fantastic shisha bar that I can easily spend a lot of time studying and just killing time there. Um, so yeah, it's been getting good. The first week is in the bag. As for my school, the first week has been mainly orientation and placement tests. The majority of those are done. I think I have my last one. Um, where is somewhere nice but somewhat more affordable? I think any large city that you go live in is going to be expensive, and then it's just a matter of finding if you want to live near that large city, how far are you willing to commute? So, the station that I live in is actually really quite close to Yokohama Station. I'm just a few stations down. I'm also just a few stations away from Shibuya. Um, so it's pretty much equal amount of time for me to go to Shibuya, which to me is the heart of Tokyo, and or to go to Yokohama Station. And my rent isn't that expensive comparatively, I would say. Um, what I was paying for rent in Vancouver was extremely more expensive. And I would say general life, daily, day to day living cost for me in Japan, I think will be a lot cheaper than what I was spending in Vancouver. So, um, yeah, Tokyo might be a super expensive city to find an apartment, but if you're willing to find a smaller apartment a few stations away, and then just make a shorter, make a little bit of a commute, which I think the majority of people I know do, um, then it is really manageable. I would say, um, you know, just the fact I'm not having to tip 15 to 20% on eating out. So eating out is super cheap. You can eat out almost every day, and it's probably the same as buying groceries for a week. So yeah, I think it's manageable. I think it's good. So I can easily, yeah, for me that's a big change too. I've always lived in a smaller city. Nagoya's was my first city. It's fairly small. And then I lived in Gifu, which was super small, a small town, a very rural area. And then I lived in Sapporo, which was a larger city, but it was still very manageable. I would say it was very manageable in terms of its size and getting used to the vibe and the flow of the city. Whereas Tokyo, I don't think I'll ever get used to it in terms of that. Um, there's so many things everywhere. It can be overwhelming, but you just need to pick some corners, some spots that you like, and then make those your own. And then I think after that you can, as long as you have those anchors, those spots where you can just go and feel comfortable. Whether it's a small izakaya, you go in there, you feel comfortable, you know the owners, you get to chat with them from time to time. Or for me, going to the shisha bar is where I like to relax and kind of center myself. And so those are like my anchor spots. And then um, you can always rely on your friends to introduce you to places and things. So again, when I was in Yokohama Station or Shibuya Station, you're just like, where do I go? Where should I eat? What's good? There's so many options. It's tough to pick one. So you either just gamble and you take a shot, which works out a lot of the times. I find I just randomly pick a spot and try it, and it's great. Sometimes it's not so great. Or a friend recommends a spot, and then I just fall in love with that as well. So that's another option. But yeah, like being back now again as a student, shifting from working everyday life to being a student again is going to be interesting. Like I have been working full time and doing my master's last year, so I had that work life school balance, and now just going back to life and school, where I'm not working. I won't be working this year until I go back to Canada. Um, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I have a lot more free time. I brought the things. I brought my Nintendo Switch, but again, I, I've been gone from Japan for so long. I feel like I have so many things to catch up on and see, and people to catch up with, and people that I've been waiting years and years, over a decade to catch up with. So I don't imagine I'll be staying at home very much and just playing games. Um, so I'll probably be spending a lot of time out studying at cafes, trying to meet up with old friends, also make new friends. The school, the program that I'm a part of, there are lots of different grad and PhD students from all over the world coming to study Japanese. I think the majority are US and Canada. I believe it's just US and Canada, but I know lots of them are from other places in the world as well. And so, yeah, it'll be exciting to get to kind of meet more people similar to me, very passionate, interested in studying Japanese, and getting their Japanese to professional level, which is going to be probably one of the biggest barriers I would face. I still feel like that's the largest barrier for me. I can't still envision an image of myself where I'm sitting down and just reading the newspaper with no issues, or writing a thesis paper in Japanese. That seems very far away, but it's something that I'm excited to work towards and study towards. So yeah, if you guys have any more questions, maybe shoot a few questions. Otherwise, I'm gonna wrap up the video, and then let me know what you guys want to see. Life in Japan, lots of things are different. I'm pretty different as well. I don't think you'll see me jumping up and down, dancing at ID in Nagoya or anything like that. But let me know what you're interested in seeing. If you guys have any more questions, if there's anything I can help you guys get used to with life in Japan. Um, but otherwise, thank you guys for watching, and yeah, we'll see what I do with these videos moving forward. But anyway, thank you guys for now, and take care.